The dreams that you dream aren't there to tease you into submission to a world that cannot offer them, but rather they come to you through the vibration of the versions of you that are already living them. And the gateway to getting there is through the power of the heart's potential to guide you and realize you within it too. Hi, welcome back to the Home Podcast. If you've listened to previous episodes by now, you should have a pretty good understanding of the power of the energy of love. If you haven't given them a listen, I'd recommend going back and doing so because there's so much great information in there to take in and reflect on. Because today we're going to be building on this theme from a different perspective. In this episode, we're going to examine how the heart is not just an organ that gives you life, but rather a portal towards the reality you've been deeply craving. Because everything you want to manifest, everything you long to experience is available to you if you're willing to feel it before you can believe it. And in believing it, create it. And you're not only going to be given an explanation of how this is true, you're going to be shown too. Because it's not enough to be told that love is the gateway to your dreams. It's much more impactful if you can experience it for yourself. Little is known about the true power of the heart because it's simply thought of as an organ that spreads oxygen and life to the physical body, and any other capacity that it could have beyond that isn't explored. But what if the heart is so much more than a component of our biological system? What if the heart is the very path towards the life you desire to live and experience, not just a vehicle through which you survive? What if the heart is not only the thing keeping you alive, but the very portal towards a reality where you can thrive? Over the course of history, the teachings of our ancestors about the portal of the heart and the power of the energy of unconditional acceptance has been forgotten, but not lost, because it lives within your essence. As we've learned in previous episodes, you cannot be forgotten. And just like your memory will always live on, the teachings of those who came before you do too. They live and are accessed within you if you're willing to sit and feel them. This episode is going to be a little bit different because what we desire to teach you today can't be accessed inside of reflection alone. It can only be fully understood by embodying it through you. You see, the verbal language carries within it vibrations that are emitted when spoken. However, the energy that comes through words alone cannot compare to the energy that is emitted through felt sense. When you feel within you, you become that frequency, and it spreads far and wide. And without your knowledge, it affects those around you quite deeply. You're not who you tell yourself you are. You're who you feel that you are. When you feel, you become. And by feeling what it is that we're about to share with you, you will not only understand it, you will become it. And it is only through becoming that you will realize the full meaning within it. Because it's so important to feel the power of the heart in order for you to fully understand it, the transmission of this episode will include an exercise to show you how to access it rather than simply just telling you how. So buckle in for this ride of self-actualization and recognize the power that lies within you when you choose to feel it coursing through you. Part 1, feeling to believe. Long ago, you were created from a force of energy known as source. This energy beats with the drum of existence itself, and it infuses its essence into everything it thinks and creates, because it seeks to be all that is, was, and ever will be. And because its mission is to exist as all things ever were, you too are part of this equation. You are source itself, experiencing life through your own interpretation of it and you. And because you're an extension of it, it feels itself through you when you're allowing of it. What we mean by this is that you have the capacity to feel the power and potential of source itself because you are source itself. But in order to feel that this is true, in order to feel the magnitude of source itself coursing through you, you have to allow yourself to. But most of us deny that this greatness exists within us, so we don't let ourselves feel it. We don't have this level of awareness of our own potential. We diminish and downplay who we believe that we are, never giving ourselves an opportunity to feel otherwise. We operate as though we're separate from those around us, not one with them. And this is not bad or wrong. On the contrary, at the most unconscious level, this is what we're wanting to experience. Otherwise, we choose something different. And today, we'd like to offer you something different. A reality of you that only becomes available for you through the gateway of the heart and through your ability to feel it first. And it's this very shift in perspective that we want to highlight first, the concept of feeling to believe. We're taught that we need proof of our potential before we can know that it exists within us. But remember, you are how you feel. And if you don't feel capable or worthy of something, that becomes who you are. And this is the frequency you emit. And that is the reality you will experience. The power of the portal of the heart shows you a different path, a path of feeling your potential within you first, before fully recognizing its existence within you. And when you go about it this way, you become so that you can create. But this requires venturing into the unknown territory of what could be rather than what is. And the heart is the gateway to getting there. Let's explore how. Part 2, the differences between the head and the heart. When trying to determine what could be, aka what the future holds and what potential is available for you inside of it, there are two separate realities that exist, the one offered by the head and the one offered by the heart. The heart offers you a perspective that is one of open potential. It is not afraid of what could be because it lives inside of a world that's full of possibility. It thrives inside of the unknown because it believes in its ability to create with it. Because the heart only feels love, it's fully anchored into the energy of oneness, and there is no limit inside of that reality. When you believe and feel so completely that you are limitless, you don't fear what's unknown to you because you see that what's available to you inside of the unknown is whatever you can imagine is there. And to the heart, that's exciting, not scary. The mind operates differently. To the mind, the unknown is terrifying because what the mind sees inside of the unknown is only what it has known. And what the mind knows is a byproduct of how you feel. If you don't feel you have the potential to create what you want, the mind will only see outcomes that reflect that belief system. And it will fear what could be because what could be is the pain of failure. If you don't feel good enough, the mind will attempt to avoid any scenario where not feeling good enough could be evoked from within you. And the unknown may be full of situations where you might have to feel that way. And therefore, the unknown is worth avoiding. and the dreams calling to you from within it go unrealized. So the heart and the mind offer very different perspectives of what could be. The heart sees unlimited opportunity to become and create anything. And because it feels only love, it doesn't fear what it might face inside of the unknown. It doesn't fear the shame of failure or the regret of mistakes because every experience of itself is welcome and only offers more love and expansive self expression. The mind sees limited opportunity to become and create because it only sees what it knows. And if it's only ever known shame and unworthiness, then this is all it will sense within the unknown, and it will fear moving towards it. The head and the heart will make choices according to what's felt within and believed to exist there. If you believe you're capable, you will find a way to prove that's true. If you believe you're not capable, you will find reasons to prove that's true too. And depending on which camp you fall into, this will dictate the choices you make, the action you take, and the outcomes that are created as a result. Therefore, you create in your image of you. You move through life making choices according to how you feel about and within you. And you will only ever see opportunities or barriers depending on what is felt. There will always be a way you limit you unless you choose to feel differently within you first. Therefore, the heart offers a gateway to a version of you that exists beyond the mind's more limited perspective. And inside of that reality, much more awaits you. The heart acts as a portal to the dream world, and that it allows you to envision what could be. And if you feel open to what's possible and open to the possibility of you within it, it all becomes true. And you become the version of you willing to believe in you enough to bring it through you. Part 3, the power of the imagination. The heart is also a gateway into the imagination, which is much more than what we've been taught to believe, and a very important component of the creation process. The imagination isn't simply the mind's way of playing tricks on you or teasing you about realities that will never be accessible to you. What you receive inside of your imagination is coming from the part of you that recognizes what's possible for you with the awareness of what lies beyond you. What determines what comes through your imagination is your desire to witness yourself inside of that reality. There's a very subconscious part of you attempting to remind you of what's truly wanted. And it is inside of this imagined reality that you're able to experience it. And if you can experience it inside of that reality, you can experience it inside of this one too. And that is exactly what you're being offered. The belief system that it could be true, that what you can create is not only available for you there, but here as well. And if you should choose to believe in you here as you do there, you could create it here too. This begs the question, where do your imagined thoughts come from? When you think a thought, it's birthed through you and then becomes its own entity alongside you. Your imagination operates much the same way in that it's coming through you from somewhere beyond you. When you think a thought, it's birthed through you, not from you, meaning it's not being created by you, it's being created through you from somewhere other than you. Nothing is created from nothing. Everything lives on as it always has. When you think a thought, it's coming from a version of you that believes it. And it believes it because it was told to. But that thought wasn't brought into existence by you, it was simply adopted by you. Therefore, when you imagine something, it's coming from a different version of you that has already experienced it. You do not live solely as you. There are many varying versions of you living vicariously through your existence as you and them too. You may not have the awareness of them, but they have the awareness of you and then send you ideas and images that they desire for you to experience. And it's up to you to determine if you want to experience them in the physical world too. So, where does the heart come into play with all this? The heart allows you to access the version of you that sees you beyond what you've been believing about you and recognizes what comes through your imagination as proof of that. In feeling love for you, in feeling oneness within you, you're more likely to dream big and beyond what you previously allowed yourself to, and take the steps to bring it through you into the physical. The heart allows you to imagine possibility, and it comes from a version of you inside of that space, inviting you to join them there. What you see inside of a vision is the part of you already experiencing it. It's a version of you that has already opened to what's alive within you and created that reality. And now it is sending it through you. The heart is the portal to realities that live on through the frequency that allows you to claim them. The mind is the version of you that can facilitate the way if you let them guide you. The mind only creates difficulty when it operates from a place of what it's already known, which is fear and lack within who you believe you are. But when you can create a frequency of love by feeling love within you, the mind comes up with visions for what could be because it no longer fears the unknown within them. And the heart helps you guide you there energetically. The only way to access what comes into your imagination is if you allow yourself to be open to receiving it. And the only way to act on visions and ideas that come to you is if you allow yourself to believe in you enough to follow through with it. Therefore, love allows for the imagination to dream big. Love allows for the belief system that it could be possible. Love allows for the courage and determination to see it all through. And love allows you to embrace it and embody it all too. Part 4, becoming and then creating. The heart is the gateway to what could be you and the version of you that you seek. But first, you must feel that person there within you because you cannot create from an energy that has not already been accessed first. Remember, you are how you feel. You can try to convince yourself of something logically, but energy doesn't lie. If you don't feel it, you don't fully believe it. We've been taught that we need proof of our own capability, our own intelligence, our own beauty, our own worthiness in order to feel it within us after the fact. And sometimes this method can work. Sometimes you can take specific action that elicits a desirable result and feel better within you as a byproduct. But how long does that feeling last? Do you notice that over time, the same heavy feelings come back or linger beneath the surface, never fully dissipating? And you see how inside of that reality, you are a slave to your environment, always needing to control it in order to control how you feel within you and who you believe that you are too. Notice that it's possible to see love, but only feel pain. Notice that you can have abundance, but only experience lack. What if the reality you truly experience is the one you feel within you first? And if you're wanting to experience joy, love, freedom, peace, or fulfillment, on the other side of the dream that calls to you, perhaps what's truly required to get there is to first feel it alive inside of you, second, believe differently about you, and then finally create it through you. If you cannot fully allow yourself to love you as you are, you cannot love who you will be or could be because the belief system doesn't allow for it. It is not the reality of you that creates your experience of you. It is your belief about you that does. And love is the gateway to this belief system and the embodiment of it and all that comes alongside it. Love is the gateway towards the embodiment of the version of you that you desire to be. And through that frequency, you will create something that cannot be accessed otherwise because you will be creating from a version of you that feels differently within you. You cannot create something that you cannot visualize as there. And the visuals that come through you are a reflection of how you think and feel about you. If you truly want to experience the depth of your potential inside of this life, allowing love in is the way. Otherwise, you will always be questioning your capacity, believing in your limitations, and convincing yourself that you can't, rather than dreaming about what could be instead. The heart is your gateway and your portal to any reality of you that you want to experience. And all that's required is the belief system that that could be true and the willingness to try it out. Because it's easier to understand this once you've experienced it and felt it, we'd like to guide you through it now. So pause this recording and come back to it when you're ready to feel, witness, experience, and become the version of you that you desire to. And through that becoming, envision what could be and all that lies before you and beyond you. And remember that when you imagine something, it's coming from a different version of you that's already experienced it, and that's sending it through you so that you can experience it too. At this time, we want you to find a very comfortable space to sit or lie down, somewhere quiet and private where you can have a few minutes to yourself. When you're ready, take a big deep breath in, hold it at the top, and slowly exhale. And one more time, take a big deep breath in, hold it at the top, and slowly exhale. Starting at the top of your head, we're going to slowly relax every part of your physical body so that you can gently ease into a more comfortable and meditative state. Allow your eyelids to slowly relax and your cheekbones and your jaw to relax as well. Notice any tension you're holding in your jaw, in your mouth, in your forehead, and slowly let all of those muscles relax. And moving down to your neck and your shoulders, release any tension that's being held there. Letting your shoulders droop down away from your ears. And moving down to your chest, noticing any tightness that's lingering or existing there. And breathing deeply into that space, letting it fully expand. And then release. Releasing any tension in your arms, your hands, and your fingers. Unclenching your fists. And letting the palms and fingers of your hands just fully relax by your side. noticing any tension in your gut or your stomach, letting it fully release, breathing deeply into that space, letting oxygen flow through it, and moving down to your hips, unclenching them, letting them relax, releasing the muscles in your quads and your hamstrings, your thighs and your legs, moving down to your ankles and your feet, uncurling your toes and allowing the weight of your body fully release into whatever surface is supporting it. And at this time, you're going to recognize golden roots extending down from the soles of your feet, traveling all the way down to the center of the earth through every layer of soil and dirt. And once these golden roots reach the center of the earth, they wrap around it, fully anchoring you there, fully grounding you into your energy, and your energy body fully grounded in your physical body, and fully anchored into this moment and into the peaceful existence surrounding you right now. As you lie or sit here enjoying the quiet and the ease of this moment, I want you to visualize a door appearing in front of you, and there seems to be a white light glowing to you through it from the other side. There's also this incredible energy permeating from the other side of this door that's inviting to you, calling you towards it. It feels expansive and exciting, and something so familiar about it too, as if it's calling just for you, knowing exactly what it is that you're wanting to feel and experience on the other side of it. You slowly walk towards this door, and the closer you get to it, the more you're filled with the anticipation of what lies on the other side of it, knowing somehow that it's exactly what you're wanting and what you're needing. And when you open the door and walk through it, you walk into a future reality of your life. A life that is so perfect, it's hard to believe it could be true. But right now, you're allowing what could be to be. And I want you to take your time and notice where you are, who's around you, and what you're doing. If you could allow your imagination to paint the picture of exactly what your dream life could look like, this is what you're experiencing now. And allow it to just fully materialize around you and in front of you, taking in every detail of it. And as you're experiencing it all around you, I also want you to pay attention to how you feel as you do. What does it feel like to be living this life? And what does it feel like knowing that you created it? See if you can name the feeling that's there. Do you feel proud, excited, purposeful, peaceful? What is the feeling, the emotion that bubbles up inside of you as you experience this dream reality unfolding before you? And now that you've named this feeling that's present within you, what does that feeling feel like physically and somatically inside of your body? Does your chest feel like it might explode with this buzzing feeling that permeates all over your body? Do you feel a warm feeling starting to trickle in through your stomach and spreading throughout your whole body? Do you feel relaxed and suddenly all the tension is gone and there's just this incredible ease that comes over you? Really take note of what this feeling feels like within you, the sensations that are being evoked from experiencing this reality around you. And as you take this all in, both what you see, what you're doing, who's around you, the emotions that are alive inside of you, and the physical sensations that they're evoking within you. What if whatever is coming through your imagination right now, whatever dream life you're experiencing in this moment, what if it just got better? You didn't think that it could, but what if it did? What if you allowed something even better to come through in this moment? What changes for you inside of allowing that possibility to come through? Does your vision stay the same or does it shift slightly? Does a new awareness come to you of something even more expansive? What does it feel like knowing that what could be was even better than you thought possible? And does the feeling that's there now change or stay the same? Is there surprise and excitement where there was just ease and relaxation before? Is there this sense of extreme fulfillment where there was just confidence before? And how does this change in the emotions inside of you shift how it feels inside of your body? Taking note if any physical sensations changed as well, and what's really going on both around you and within you. Now that you've experienced your dream reality, and not only that, something even better, I want you to notice any part of you that has the vague awareness that this is all happening inside of your mind. And as fun as it is to envision it, it might not be possible to create it. Notice any part of you that doubts that this life could be this perfect. And even if it could be, your ability to make it happen might be limited. Notice any part of you that thinks that this is too good to be true. And although it calls to you, the likelihood of actually creating it feels almost impossible. Notice what changes inside of you and your body as soon as you allow these thoughts to creep in. Do the feelings that were there a minute ago change in any way or dissipate to a certain degree? Do you notice a deflation in your body or a contraction anywhere that wasn't there before? When you think about your life now in contrast to what could be, to this dream reality of what could be, what feeling do you feel rise up? And see if you can name it. Is it disappointment? Is it regret? Is it shame? Is it unworthiness? Is it frustration? Do you see how as soon as you're reminded of you inside of this time and space, you falter and fall back into pain? Do you see how this reality that you've created around you is seen as less than what you desire to feel? Take a moment and open your eyes and come back to this now moment while we stress the following. This was an experience of opening your heart to what could be, feeling the open potential within it and all of the possibility available through it by simply letting it in and allowing it to guide you. Your external circumstances never changed, but you allowed yourself to feel differently within you regardless. And it is through eliciting this shift from within you that you accessed that version of you in this moment. And it is through continuously accessing them that it becomes real, because it is that version of you that's guiding you, not this one. What we're trying to show you is that that reality can't be created from this version of you, because this version of you doubts you and comes up with reasons to justify why that reality can't be you. But by feeling that version of you first, by accessing the love, the joy, the freedom, the ease inside of that person and those feelings begin to guide you. And you open the gateway through and begin to see possibility where you may otherwise only see barriers, and become so that you can create. Part 5, the gateway of the heart. You create you and all that you are through you. And if you want to create something more than what you're already seeing and experiencing, love is the way. The heart is the portal that connects you to all that lies beyond you. The way to experience the universe and back is to feel it alive within. And all that's required is the safety of the now to be okay allowing you to. Moving forward, whenever you feel the pain, the shame, or the blame that this moment brings, remember the portal inside of you that guides you into a world beyond you. The portal that lives inside of the very essence of you, created through you, and that offers you all that you could possibly want and more when you're ready to live as if it's true now. And in doing so, allow it to guide you. If the messages here resonate with you, and if you're ready to begin witnessing, embracing, and embodying your light and accessing the divine creator within, come join my community Home. Inside of Home, you'll have access to live events, a library of meditations and somatic exercises, and an incredible community of open-hearted and like-minded people. And if you're at all unsure, it's completely free to join. So you can take all the time you need to explore what's in there, watch recordings from past events, and get a feel for what's truly available for you when you give yourself permission to come home to you. Head to the show notes to find the link to join us.